and I 6. Hey, I'm a motherfucking nigga for life. This gang, and I 6. Hey, I'm a motherfucking nigga for life. This gang, and I 6. Hey, I'm a motherfucking nigga for life. This gang, like I told ya, this is for my motherfucking soldiers. My blacks on my 18s on my real yosers. Toothless, free razor up. Ruthless, we don't give a fuck. Got niggas on the come up. Fuck with us, then you die. Fuck with us, then you die. Real niggas make real moves. Consequences, cautious. I'm in the game. Listen up, banks nigga. From the bay, black cloud. Nigga mates been patching since 18. Hotel, Southland. And I 6. Hey, I'm a motherfucking nigga for life. This game. And I 6. Hey, I'm a motherfucking nigga for life. This game. And I 6. Hey, I'm a motherfucking nigga for life. This game. And I 6. Hey, I'm a motherfucking nigga for life. Russell Hoover to the death of me. Just banging on these dogs. Yet ain't no mother left of me. Bringing misery to my enemies. My 4 black niggas going central straight to the cemetery. Yo, it's fuck. 2 of my niggas passed off. Just banging around the nation, never giving a fuck. 2 of my niggas holding it down, saying truth is a black and blue. Fuck the monkey niggas for life, and we coming for you. And 6. Hey, I'm a motherfucking nigga for life. This game. And 6. Hey, I'm a
You heard that? I didn't touch
motherfucking
it.
nigga for
The
life.
sound went up and down.
And
Oh,
6. Hey, I'm a motherfucking nigga for life. This gang. And 6. Hey, I'm a motherfucking nigga for life. You niggas alive, willing to die forever for spending the streets. Cashed up at age of 16, checking months on the daily routine. Don't cost me getting the respect back in your truth. It's the nigga free, running the streets of refugee. CGI, you fucking good, you stuck into the sky. You do the good till I die. Only the wicked survive. My drive, so you ready to ride. Niggas for life, niggas for life, niggas for life. And I 6. Hey, I'm a motherfucking nigga for life. This game. And I 6. Hey, I'm a motherfucking nigga for life.
Let your host lend a hand. Whether you need $20, $30, or $300,000, Capital Direct is here to help. Call us today at 1-800-NEW-CAPITAL. CapitalDirect.ca. 680 News Time, 11:17.
We have an update now from Peel Police announcing the arrest now in the 2018 death of an innocent man who was gunned down in Mississauga while simply on his way from work. In addition to 2 other shootings, here's Inspector Marty.
Well, you shouldn't work.
Police's Homicide and Missing Persons Bureau.
This past week, on Tuesday, January 28, 2020, the Homicide Bureau executed a number of search warrants in the Greater Toronto area and made several arrests in relation to these shootings. Arrested were the following: Adrian Williams, a 25-year-old man, for first-degree murder involving Jason Ramkishoon and the attempted murder of the victim on Highway 410 in Brampton. Akeem Williams, a 28-year-old man, for attempted murder of the victim on Highway 410 in Brampton. Both Akeem and Adrian have ties to the Greater Toronto area.
well, that's real specific.
Shaniqua Elwood, a 26-year-old woman from Markham, is facing a charge of accessory after the fact to murder.
Meghan
Vaughn
Markle
Reyes,
has ties to the
26-year-old woman from
GTA. That don't
Milton,
mean
is
much.
facing 2 counts of possession for the purpose of trafficking. Our first shooting on November 10th, 2018, Travis Edwards Bryan was arrested and charged with attempted murder on December 1st, 2018. He is currently in custody awaiting trial.
The 680's Moment Qureshi is at that very news conference right now. We'll bring us the very latest coming up. 680 News Time, 11:19. Well, they say breaking up is hard to do, but Prime Minister Justin Trudeau is confident that Brexit won't have a major impact on Canadian economic activity.
With the UK and the EU splitting up, that leaves a big question mark for Canada. We already have a trade deal with the European Union, and now we'll have to negotiate a separate deal with the British. But Prime Minister Justin Trudeau says he's confident there will be minimal disruptions to trade trade and investment. We have actually been engaged with the United Kingdom over the past few years, working on that transition plan to make sure that the very important trade numbers are not disrupted at all. While there have been preliminary talks, no formal negotiations are set. Trudeau says Brexit would have been a big economic threat if it was a hard divorce. However, the UK and EU have agreed to spend the rest of the year trying to reach new agreements on a wide variety of issues, including trade, transportation, and education. Cormac McSweeney, Parliament Hill.
Well, coming up in 60 seconds, we'll have a look at traffic and your extended forecast.
City News Time 11:20.
Okay, you arrested some people. Fuck, they make it sound like they got so much for it.
You don't
There's
like
nothing.
being late for meetings and hate missing deadlines. It's why you put your customers first and pick your partners
You
wisely.
arrested some dumb people. They shot the wrong fucking guy. They killed the wrong guy, and then they shot the right guy and didn't kill him. What the fuck?
For all of your international shipping needs, express, ground, and freight, visit
They give you extra time for dumb
FedEx.com/rating.
shit like that.
FedEx, connecting people and possibilities.
Maybe you don't know where to start. Maybe tomorrow's goals feel so far away. What if we told you that maybe you're closer than you think? That a simple conversation can spark something amazing. Your savings and investments can stand for so much more when they don't stand still. And Scotiabank can help every step of the way. Energize your investing. You're richer than you think. Scotiabank.
The City News Time 11:21.
And now time for traffic and weather together on the ones. Here's Zach Bodenstein.
This report is brought to you by Monte Carlo Inns. It's a problem-free drive on the major routes right now. You will find construction, though. First, on the eastbound 401, there are delays from Mississauga Road to Mavis. There's roadwork set up on the ramp to the southbound 427. Right lane on that ramp is blocked, so you're finding delays from just before Renforth and the collectors. Westbound 401 looks pretty good right now. Same thing for the north and southbound 400. Southbound DVP really starting to ease up, just a delay south of Don Mills, but even that's starting to pick up. And not much happening on the east QE Gardner. Westbound Gardner busy, DVP to Cherry. West QEW, there's some construction on the ramp to Erin Mills. It's taking the right lane out. We also have northbound 427 delays through Bloor in the Express. If you're in Mississauga, keep in mind Dixie is still shut down north of the lakeshore in either direction. That is for a collision. Looking for a wonderful winter escape right now at Monte Carlo Inns. You can save 20% on the luxury suite. Go to MonteCarloInns.com and enter the promo code WINTER with the forecast. Jill Taylor.
Another cloudy day for us. Do have a chance of a few flurries. It's milder today, though. The guaranteed high 0, -5 for the low. A few clouds tonight. And for tomorrow, chance of flurries, mainly for the evening. That could extend into Sunday, Groundhog Day, with some scattered flurries. But it will get milder, +1 tomorrow, up to 4 on Sunday. For today, the guaranteed high 0.
Right now in downtown
But it's
Toronto,
not. It's minus
cloudy with a few flakes.
13 or
-1,
some
feeling
shit.
like -2 at Pearson Airport. A
You
little
lie.
bit of light snow and -1.
Well, coming up at the bottom of the hour, Canada's first confirmed coronavirus patient now on his way home. That from health officials at Sunnybrook Hospital today. We'll have the latest on that ahead. Peel Police also announcing today
But the other one was already out. Oh, that don't make me feel safer.
in connection with the 2018 death of an innocent man who was simply gunned down on his way home from work. The man in the wrong place at the wrong time. And we will also have more from our Kevin Meisner, who is out in Peel Region as well, where police there were investigating a fatal hit-and-run collision involving a woman on a motorized scooter.
680 News Time 11:23.
With Intact Insurance, you can get rewarded for being a good driver. No, really. The better you drive, the more you save. Seriously. You could get up to 30% off your car insurance with My Drive. No. Please keep your hands.
That was nice and loud and clear.
Go for it, motherfucking nigga. Murderous hell, bow down, this the black bar. Tested on my face, it's banging all around. So bow down, with the real niggas in your town, Go for it, mama nigga. Murderous hell, bow down, this the black bar. Tested on my face, it's banging all around. So bow down, with the real niggas in your town, In the streets, you prepare where it takes you. Some situations can make you or break you. But fuck the that shit, I'm a nigga for life. The day I got patched up, real niggas for life. So black, I see little, sometimes ride, sometimes for these hard times. I live through the hard places, gotta make placed up. Nigga makes me take chasing everything. Life flags is everything, but it's okay, I'm still here. Vegas, grind up, NFL, we throw it up. We young niggas rising up. Patrick, but show fuck my black cars, we stay slow through the storm and through the war. Niggas for life, niggas support. See them up, we kill them all. Take this patch, man, we know. Yo, fuck a take devil, representing everything. Bow down the town, wait, in your town, loud and proud. So black, we found out. So black, we found out. Yo, fuck, I'm a motherfucking nigga. Here is hell, bow down, this the black bar. Tatted on my face, it's banging all around. So bow down with the real niggas in the town, Yo, fuck, I'm a nigga. Here is hell, bow down, this the black bar. Tatted on my face, it's banging all around. So bow down with the real niggas in the town, BPAT is what you see, and what you see is what you get, and what you get is chin check. When you come and run away, you gon' feel the full effect of a crazy ass nigga run my blade across your neck. Angel shit real quick, I hold it down for the fist. This black crowd, motherfucker, we be up in this bitch. Yeah, you see us on the hustle, trying to fucking must think they mighty, but none of them wanna fight me. You don't believe me, come try me. Your fucking ass will be dying. See your mama, she crying, but she kiss you goodbye. And I stay real, nigga. I live and die for the black. I live and die for the back. I'm spitting rhymes and facts. Now I think you get the message, so there might be a rap. This paper chasing nigga makes this nigga life's where it's at. No front, motherfucking nigga. Here is hell, down, just the black club. Flipped it on my face, spinning all around. So bow down with the real niggas in the town, Fall off of the nigga. Here is hell, down, just the black club. Flipped it on my face, spinning all around. So bow down with the real niggas in the town, Be the black chick that gets what you say. Because you deserve less. That's a foul niggas feel this way.
Wednesday, so starting next Wednesday, that stock is down 1.9%, and really selling is the theme on both sides of the border today. The U.S. markets taking a bigger hit. All markets in the U.S. right now off by at least 1.1%. The Dow is down by 426, the S&P off by 39, and the NASDAQ down by 108. So obviously coronavirus still a concern for investors, and it could be going forward, at least for the short term. Alan Small is Senior Investment Advisor at the Alan Small Financial Group with Hollis Wealth.
Once you start seeing those cases start to dwindle and in fact not grow, I think that's when the coronavirus will begin to have less of an impact. Because once you can see that this virus is under control and not spreading any longer, spreading to other countries or even spreading within China, therefore I think people will then start to say, okay, well, hopefully China can get back online and get back doing what they do, which is being a huge importer of oil, a huge importer of U.S. goods, huge importer of goods from countries all around the world. And that's the scare. That's why people are concerned.
The TSX right now is down 155, 17,335. Price for gold is higher, but just by $2. $15.91.
What's
Well,
platinum
oil today
doing?
has been close to a 4-month low. It's down 74 cents, off by 1.4% to 51.41. The Canadian dollar right now lower by 8/100, 75.63 cents US. GDP for November in Canada better than expected, with economic growth of 0.1%. And the board of directors at Hudson's Bay has unanimously recommended that shareholders support a sweetened offer to take the retailer private. The offer comes from Richard Baker, who is the executive chairman. Shares in HBC right now unchanged, $10.94 a share. At the Business Center, I'm Chris McCusker.
Hey, the bank called today about our RSP contributions.
I thought we decided to move them over to Questrade.
Well, we've got a lot on our plate right now.
We can't wait another year. The lower fees could mean over 100,000 more for us, for her, for our future.
For that, we can find a few minutes.
Save your retirement. See how you can retire wealthier with the Quest Wealth Portfolio's RRSP at Questrade.com.
Are you struggling to lose weight?
At the Bernstein Diet and Health Clinics, we've been helping people lose weight and feel great for over 40 years.
And we can help you lose up to 20 pounds per month without exercise or diet.
$33,000, what is it, computer?
50 pounds or more, our team of nurses and doctors will ensure that
Not what I'm
your
looking
weight
for at all.
loss is healthy and long-lasting. So stop struggling and start succeeding. Call us today at 1-888-DRB-DIET or visit drbdiet.com to learn more.
It's time for the 680 News Business Travelers Forecast, brought to you by Walmart.
New year, healthy you. Walmart knows wellness. If you need any advice on healthy choices this year, just ask your Walmart pharmacist. This message is brought to you by PharmaScience.
In Calgary, partly cloudy and 0 today. Montreal, sunshine and -13 right now in downtown Toronto. It's -1, but feels more like -5. Neetu Supersat Singh is the midday show editor. Zahir Hashimi is our digital editor. Amber LeBlanc, our news director. 680 News Time, 11:30.
Number 1 for news in Toronto. This is 680 News.
Here are Sarah Ferret and Steve Roberts. Good morning. It's Friday, January 31st.
And good morning. Here's what's making news this hour.
Canada says containing the coronavirus is working. As the first patient to have contracted, it's improved enough to get released from Sunnybrook Hospital.
Peel Police announced a number of arrests in the case of a mistaken identity murder on Highway 410 more than a year ago.
A 45-year-old woman operating a motorized scooter is struck and killed by a hit-and-run driver on Dixie Road, north of Lakeshore in Mississauga. Divorce isn't easy, but with the UK officially splitting from the European Union, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau is confident the impact on Canadian trade and investment will be minimal. No Maple Leafs tonight, but the Raptors gun for a 10th straight win in Motown. Sports at 45.
We've got triple-digit losses on the TSX, the NASDAQ, and the Dow, which right now is down 447. Oil is adding to its monthly losses, and IBM is getting a new CEO. Business at 56.
680 News Time, 11:31.
Time for traffic and weather together on the ones. Here's Zach Bodenstein.
This report brought to you by Michael Lamont Personal Injury Law. It's a pretty smooth drive overall if you're on the major routes for sure. East on the 401, a little bit busy through Mississauga Road over to Mavis. Then you'll be faced with some road work. Eastbound 401 ramp to southbound 427 has the right lane blocked for some construction. The bad news is that it's actually affecting traffic on the highway heading towards that area, so you're finding delays from approaching Renforth and the collectors towards that ramp. But everything else on the eastbound 401 is moving well, so if you're on the other side of the 400 or even the other side of the 427 for that matter, you won't be faced with anything. Westbound 401 looks good through the entire thing. If you're southbound on the 404, just a bit of a delay through Shepherd and the collectors. There is a little bit of a delay on the westbound Gardner through the construction zone from the DVP to Cherry, then roadwork after that on the west QEW on the ramp to Aaron Mills. It has the right lane blocked, but no real delay through here or really anywhere on the west QEW. Northbound 427 slows down further Bloor Indy Express. If you've suffered a serious injury, your recovery starts at lamontlaw.ca. Lamont Law resolving personal injury cases for over 40 years. With the forecast, here's Jill Taylor.
Just a lot of cloud for the most part today. Do have a chance of a few flurries. Our guaranteed high 0. And for tonight, a few clouds, the low -5. For today, the guaranteed high 0.
And right now downtown, it's overcast and 0. Feels more like -2, though, when you factor in that wind. Over at Pearson Airport right now, it's -1, but feeling like -4. 680 News Time, 11:33.
Some good news today when it comes to the coronavirus here in Canada. A man from Toronto who became the country's first confirmed case is now at home.
And 680 Stuart McGinn is following this story for us, joins us live with the very latest, especially a statement, actually, Stuart, from Sunnybrook Hospital this morning.
Yeah, that's right, Steve. Over the past week, officials at Sunnybrook saying the man's condition has improved to the point where he can now be monitored from the comfort of his own home. This man, the first to be confirmed to have coronavirus in Canada. The news today coming as Prime Minister Justin Trudeau tells reporters Canada's work to contain the virus is working, and the process also continues to get roughly 200 citizens out of China. People deemed at risk flown out just yesterday. In China, though, it's been a full week that roughly 60 million people have been under lockdown.
There's 24 million people in Shanghai, and I'm walking in the middle of the street.
That's Jenna Davidson, an American student studying there, telling Reuters people are starting to run out of the necessities.
The cafeterias on campus are closed, so we started realizing, well, we need food. Most stores within walking distance have been shut down or It's like zombie land in there. Everyone's fighting for what's left on the shelves.
Still, countries continue to praise the drastic measures China's taken to prevent the spread of the virus. Reporting live, Stuart McGinn, 680 News.
Well, meantime, Olympic organizers in Tokyo are trying to shoot down rumors that the 2020 Games might be canceled or postponed due to coronavirus.
Tokyo organizers say in a statement to the Associated Press, "We have never discussed cancelling the Games, and that Tokyo 2020 will continue to collaborate with the International Olympic Committee and relevant organizations, and will review any countermeasures that may be necessary." Rumors of a cancellation have spread in Japan, with reports that the Swiss-based IOC has met with the World Health Organization about the outbreak. The WHO has called the virus a global emergency. The Olympics open on July 24, just under 6 months away. I'm Charles de Ledesma.
680 News Time, 11:35. Some breaking news from Peel Police this morning, who have made more than a dozen arrests in connection to at least 3 shootings in Mississauga and Brampton back in November of 2018, including a 23-year-old man who was mistakenly gunned down on Highway 410 while on his way home from work. Here's Inspector Marty Holloway with the Homicide and Missing Persons Bureau.
Through our investigation, we have learned the following in relation to these 3 incidents. On November 10th, 2018, just after 11 p.m., there was an altercation between a number of people on Del Monte Crescent in Mississauga. During this altercation, 24-year-old Trayvon Edwards Bryan was armed with a firearm and fired numerous rounds at a male victim. The victim fled in his 2013 Honda Accord without sustaining any injuries. Trayvon was arrested and charged in December 2018 with attempted murder and several firearm-related charges. We believe this incident was the catalyst for what came next.
Now, Ottawa says that 15 people have now been charged in connection to those 3 shootings. Our Momin Qureshi is at the Peel Police headquarters. Will bring us the very latest coming up.
680 News Time, 11:36. Peel Police are looking for a suspect after a woman in a motorized scooter was killed in a hit-and-run this morning in Mississauga. 680's Kevin Meisner's at the scene near Dixie and Lakeshore and joins us with the latest from police.
Peel Police believe the victim was operating a motorized scooter in the bike lane here next to the southbound lane of Dixie Road north of Lakeshore when she was hit by the car.
We attended and located a 45-year-old woman who was suffering from injuries and was later pronounced deceased at the scene.
The impact threw the woman and the scooter over 10 meters down the roadway. Constable Heather Cannon says police want to hear from any other driver who was in the area around 6:40 this morning.
If they had any type of dash cam video, if they had seen anything, to contact our investigators with major collision.
The suspect vehicle is believed to be a dark-colored Honda sedan. It will have obvious damage to the right front corner. On Dixie Road near Lakeshore Road in Mississauga, I'm Kevin Meisner.
680 News Time, 11:37. Well, Brexit becomes official today. Britain formally splitting from the European Union after 4 years of intense debate. Our Parliament Hill reporter Cormac McSweeney telling us the federal government here, though, insists there won't be any major impact.
While Brexit is official today, the UK and the EU have given themselves 11 months to work out the terms of their divorce on matters like trade, transportation, fisheries, and education. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau says that gives Canada some breathing room, as we also look to have a smooth transition in our new relationship with Britain.
The greatest threat was on a so-called no-deal Brexit. They've avoided that. They are negotiating with the European Union so that there will be a more orderly transition. And we are very confident that we will minimize any disruptions.
Canada already has a trade deal with the EU, but with this split, we'll need to strike a new separate trade agreement with the UK. The last few years, the Trudeau government's been engaged in preliminary talks, but no formal negotiations have been set. Cormac McSweeney, Parliament Hill.
To the U.S. now, the impeachment trial was front and center at U.S. President Donald Trump's latest rally in Des Moines, Iowa.
Trump supporters here in Iowa tell me they'd like to see the impeachment trial end soon.
I think it was a partisan sham from Pelosi, Nadler, Schiff.
I don't think they really have a case.
I want an acquittal.
At the rally, President Trump shrugged off the trial, pointing to the Nixon and Clinton scandals as dark and sad times.
This is a happy period for us.
He called it impeachment light. Ryan Burrow, ABC News, Des Moines.
Coming up in 30 seconds, we'll check city streets and the price of gas.
680 News Time, 11:39.
Alpine Credits.
Hi, I'm calling to get a debt consolidation loan.
No problem. Do you own your home?
Maybe.
Okay, you're approved maybe.
You just made that word up.
No, I didn't. It's commonly used.
Use it in a sentence.
Easy. The word approved maybe is a totally normal, very good word that people use. See?
Alpine Credits, where homeowners get approved, and maybe homeowners get approved, maybe, and we make up words sometimes. Alpine Credits. Some conditions apply. Fiscal license 12616.
On city streets, Dixie remains blocked both ways north of the lakeshore due to a pedestrian struck. Northbound Parkside from the lakeshore to the Queensway, 2 lanes are blocked there for construction. Now the 680 News gas price update, and Pro predicts the price will go down a cent at midnight to $1.09.9 a liter.
680 News Time, 11:40.
Put us on and find out what to wear. The best weather reports in the city every 10 minutes on 680 News.
Are you hiring now or will have a job opening soon? We can help. Check out the Next Steps Employment Centers at next-steps.ca. It's where qualified candidates go to look for their next job. We offer free recruitment services, and you may qualify for financial incentives. And have you heard? Through the Canada-Ontario Job Grant, you could be eligible to receive up to $10,000 per employee in government support to cover training costs. Learn more at next-steps.ca. That's next-steps.ca. Next Steps Employment Centers are funded by Employment Ontario.
If winter were a show, the Range Rover Sport would give you front row tickets. Introducing the 2020 Range Rover Sport, outfitted with Terrain Response 2, which delivers outstanding performance on any snow, ice, or slush-covered surface. For a limited time, lease the 2020 Range Rover Sport for $899 per month for 42 months, with $8,000 down at 5.99%. Visit your Greater Toronto Area Land Rover authorized retailer for details. Offer ends January 31st. Land Rover. Above and beyond.
680 News Time, 11:41.
Time for traffic and weather together on the ones. Here's Zach Bodenstein.
And this report is brought to you by Greater Toronto Airport Authority on the major routes right now. Again, everything moving pretty well. You're going to be faced with minimal restrictions at this point. But eastbound 401 volume is starting to build out west. We're finding delays approaching Mississauga Road to here, Ontario in the Express. There's some road work happening as well. East 401 ramp to southbound 427 is the right lane blocked for some construction. So that is slowing the drive down from approaching Redforth and the collectors to that point. Westbound 401's a smooth drive. I should also mention that's as bad as it gets on the eastbound 401. There's nothing else to report, and everything moving well on the East QE Gardner. We don't have much happening if you're headed towards the downtown area. Still moving pretty well. Westbound Gardner, though, that does slow down from the DVP to Cherry. Before that, southbound 404 is a bit slow through Shepherd and the collectors, but the DVP is a very nice drive through the entire stretch. That includes northbound as well. The entire DVP 404 northbound combination looks great. Not much happening on the north-south 410 either. North 427, bit of a drag through Bloor in the Express. Learn more about the Union Station West Transit Hub at the airport, reducing congestion, making better suburb-to-suburb commuting possible. Learn more at unionstationwest.ca. With the forecast, here's Jill Taylor.
Just another day filled with a lot of clouds, but it's not as cold for us today. We do have a chance of a few flurries. Guaranteed high 0 for tonight. A few clouds, -5. And for the weekend, the 1st of February tomorrow, mainly cloudy. Could get some flurries mainly for the evening. Milder up to +1. And for Sunday, all the way up to 4 degrees, but some scattered flurries in the morning. For today, the guaranteed high 0.
And right now downtown, we have got overcast conditions and 0, although it feels like -2 when you factor in the wind. Over at Pearson Airport right now, it's still overcast, -1, but feeling like -4. 680 News Time, 11:43.
Now the Scotia iTrade Market Minute, live from the Business Center. Here's Chris McCusker.
Well, Sarah, we continue to see steep losses in the U.S. The Dow right now is off by 436. The S&P is down 44. The NASDAQ off by 108. So all markets in the U.S. right now down by at least 1.1%. The TSX is off by about 1% now, or 164 points, 17,326. Now, gold is higher, but only by $3, $15.91. Oil in the red, again, it's down 25 cents. 51.88, so that's close to a 4-month low. And the Canadian dollar off by 1/10 cent, 75.61 cents U.S. Just one other note, we are hearing concerns from people about outages with the TD Easy Web and the mobile app. A tweet from TD Bank actually says they are aware of the problem and they are working to resolve it. At the Business Center, I'm Chris McCusker.
Direct invest with Scotia iTrade. Get up to $1,500 cash and $6.99 pricing, or up to 500 free equity trades. Details at scotiaitrade.com/winter20.
Are you struggling with your up-close reading vision? Need a larger font size on your phone to read text messages? After LASIK-MD's PresbyVision procedure, these challenges will be a thing of the past. PresbyVision is designed to treat up-close reading vision loss, as well as nearsightedness, farsightedness, and astigmatism, so you can see near, far, and everything in between without glasses, bifocals, or contacts. And for a limited time, save up to 20% on your procedure. Book your free no-obligation consultation today at LASIKMD.com.
Tim Hortons Dream Donuts are here. Try the Dolce de Leche, chocolate truffle, or strawberry confetti today at Tim's. They'll have you saying, "You make my dreams come true."
This is All News Radio, 680 News.
Cloudy sky in downtown Toronto. It is 0. Good morning from the 680 News Broadcast Center. I'm Sarah Parrott.
And I'm Steve Roberts. Here are the top stories right now.
Well, saying his condition improved over the course of a week. Sunnybrook Hospital has released the man who became Canada's first coronavirus patient.
What was
Sunnybrook
the
says the
treatment? What
man
did
in
you
his
do?
50s no longer needs hospital care and will continue to recover at home where his wife is in self-isolation. Peel police have arrested 15 people in connection to 3 separate shootings in the region in November of 2018, including a mistaken identity murder of a 23-year-old man on Highway 410. Our Momin Qureshi, who's at Peel Police Headquarters, will join us after sports to give us more details on the arrests and charges. 680 News Time, 11:45. Now 680 Sports from Sportsnet 590 The Fan. Here's George Russick.
Sarah, the Maple Leafs have the night off and host the Senators tomorrow, but some trade rumors swirling around the team. Sportsnet's Elliot Friedman was a guest on leadoff this morning over on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and doubled down on the name that the Maple Leafs potentially might want to add to their blue line.
But I think they'll look at what's out there, and the name I've mentioned, because I've heard they looked at him was Dumba, but if someone said to me, I think if there's any good defenseman they think is on the market, they're looking at it. As long as the team continues to play well. That's the caveat.
The Maple Leafs have also recalled defenseman Kevin Gravel from the Marlies. Raptors gunning for a 10th straight win tonight in Detroit against the Pistons. Listen to it on Sportsnet 590 The Fan. Watch it on Sportsnet 1 at 7. Dominic Thiem off to the final at the Australian Opening up has Alexander Zverev in 4 sets this morning in some semifinal play. He'll play Novak Djokovic, Dominic Thiem, that is, in Sunday morning's final. While tomorrow morning at 3:30 a.m. it's Sofia Kenin versus Garbiñe Muguruza in the ladies' final. North Bay Battalion at the Mississauga Steelheads tonight at 7. Toronto Rock hosting Halifax at 7:30. Sports at 15 and 45 past every hour, or anytime at sportsnet.ca/590.
Beautiful and ready for adventure. The Dominican Republic is waiting for you. Enjoy an unforgettable holiday on the famous Caribbean beaches or its internationally renowned golf courses. The Dominican Republic has it all. Go to DominicanRepublic.com to discover more.
It's nice to have a guarantee that your money will grow because your kids are guaranteed to grow.
Mom, my shoes are too small.
Thankfully, HSBC Bank offers a GIC with 2.18% interest, so you'll be ready for anything.
Mom, my shoes are too small.
Again? Take a step towards financial wellness today. Get 2.18% per annum on a 218-day non-redeemable GIC for new deposits. For full details, visit hsbc.ca/grow. HSBC Bank. Together we thrive.
Follow in the footsteps of Christopher Columbus and discover the beauty of the Dominican Republic. Walk on the beaches of Puerto Plata or explore the capital of Santo Domingo. The Dominican Republic has it all. Go to DominicanRepublic.com to discover more.
This is All News Radio 680 News. It's 11:48. And we have breaking news from Peel Police, who say they've arrested more than a dozen people in connection to 3 shootings in Mississauga and Brampton, all dating back to 2018. 680's Momin Qureshi was at this morning's update, and he joins us live with all the details. Momin.
Sarah, all three of those shootings happened really within a matter of a couple of weeks, and unfortunately resulted in the death of 23-year-old Jason Ramkishun. He was killed as a result of mistaken identity. They were actually, the attackers, police say, were actually looking for someone else. Now, police say they've actually arrested several people, seized several guns, and laid several charges in connection with these three shootings, including two brothers, one of which is facing murder charges as well as attempted murder charges in connection with these shootings. Now, the Ramkishun family is releasing a statement through police saying that they're thankful to the public for helping track down these alleged killers, reminding people that Ramkishun himself had aspirations to be in law enforcement, to have a career in law enforcement. Actually, here inside the media gallery here at Peel Police Headquarters, they have several of the guns laid out. And something that was talked about earlier this week when all those mayors and GTA chiefs met is that the problem is the guns are coming from the states illegally, and they say every one of these almost dozen guns laid on this table here did come illegally from the United States. Reporting live at Peel Police Headquarters, I'm Owen Qureshi.
680 News Time, 11:49. Well, Facebook says it's working to counter misinformation about the outbreak of coronavirus. The company's head of health says in a post that their third-party fact checkers are reviewing content and debunking false claims related to the virus. Facebook says it will focus on providing helpful information about the epidemic. People will be able to get relevant and up-to-date information through messages at the top of Facebook's news feed. Coming up in 60 seconds, we'll check in with traffic and weather. 680 News Time, 11:50.
I don't know really much more than I did.
Things just don't fit, like an SUV that doesn't suit your lifestyle. That's why Toyota offers the adventure-ready RAV4 with available all-wheel drive. Find the Toyota that's right for you. Lease the 2020 RAV4 all-wheel drive LE for as low as $103 weekly at 5.49% APR for 48 months with $0 down. Or finance from 3.99% APR for 36 months. Visit your local Ontario Toyota dealer or shoptoyota.ca. Some conditions apply.
Listen up. Lazy Boy is completely overstocked and they need to move furniture fast. It's music to my ears. I hear there's crazy amounts of everything in the store. They're so desperate to move inventory and make room for all their new items that everything's priced to go. Hurry. Once it's gone, it's gone.
Live life comfortably, Lazy Boy.
Scratch and save up to an additional 25% off at 9 GTA stores plus Kitchener.
680 News Time, 11:51. Time for traffic and weather together on the ones. Here's Zach Bovenstein.
This report brought to you by TSC. It's still a busy drive on the eastbound 401 from Winston Churchill to Mississauga Road, and then again through Ontario and the Collectors. And then there's this road work set up on the east 401 ramp to the southbound 427. That's taking up the right lane, which has delays from approaching Redforth and the Collectors up to that ramp. Westbound 401, a lot easier to get around, only delays through the Express from the 404 to Leslie. North and South 400 moving well right now. We have South 404 DVP still slow from Finch down to Shepherd and the Collectors. Everything beyond that's in good shape. The whole northbound route looks great as well. Was cycling through the cameras, spotted some construction. Southbound 427 approaching Burnhamthorpe in the Express. Looks like some moving maintenance. They're set up in the left lane and moving very slowly, so that is causing a little bit of a delay. If you're east on the 403, a delay through Dundas. Eastbound Gardner's busy. Jameson to the Spadina ramp, and then westbound Gardner busy from the DVP to Cherry. Dixie still closed north of the Lakeshore for a collision investigation. Stock up on your beauty must-haves with Massum's Magic Finish Makeup and Volume Lip Balm Set. Get it tomorrow at TSC and save big. Shop tsc.ca. Your next report at 12:01 with Carrie Prunskis with the forecast right now. Here's Jill Taylor.
Well, just a lot of cloud for the most part today. It's not as cold as it was yesterday. Wind chill -4. Really, that's manageable. Our guaranteed high 0. Do have a chance of a few flurries, but that's about it. For tonight, a few clouds, a low -5. And for the weekend, mainly cloudy tomorrow, milder up to +1. Do have a chance of flurries mainly for the evening. And then scattered flurries for Sunday. Quite mild, though, for Groundhog Day up to +4. Monday, well above average, a high near 7 degrees. It will be partly cloudy. For today, the guaranteed high, 0. Cloudy sky in downtown Toronto, it is 0. At Pearson Airport, some light snow and -1.
This extended forecast is brought to you by Sunwing.ca. Get the best price guaranteed on top-rated all-inclusive vacations and enjoy award-winning service every step of the way. Book today with your travel agent or at Sunwing.ca.
Coming up at the top of the hour, the latest on Sunnybrook Hospital releasing the man who became the first coronavirus patient in Canada. The man in his 50s is now well enough to go home following a week of treatment. He'll continue to be monitored by Toronto Public Health.
680 News Time, 11:53.
Honey, I need more spontaneity.
But we've been together so long.
Yes, but what about going to Miami this weekend?
With our card, we can't book last minute.
Then why do we have this card, Wendy? Why?
Switch to RBC Avion and book at the last minute on any airline, any flight, anytime. And right now, start Avion and get 35,000 welcome points to go anywhere in Canada or the U.S. Alaska and Hawaii require more points. Offer ends February 28, 2020. Conditions apply. Visit rbc.com/avion35.
The 680 News Insider Club. It pays to the law.
This week, you could win a $100 407 Express Toll Route gift card to avoid congestion and save time on your way around the GTA in the new year. 407 ETR is focused on getting you where you need to go faster, so you can focus on the things that matter most to you. Enjoy $100 of free rides with or without a transponder.
Visit 680news.com for your chance to win and to sign up for the Insider Club.
Coming up in 60 seconds, markets are off their lows for the day. We'll get you all the details in the business report next.
680 News Time, 11:55.
Excitement is right around the corner at Casino Woodbine. More excitement than King Street on a Saturday. More rush than the
Don't say
Falls.
that.
More lights than
You
Young
make the
and
news on
Dundas.
Saturday.
More fun is just minutes away. Casino Woodbine, Toronto's home for gaming and entertainment.
What
Must be 19
treatment?
plus. Rewards
I'm
membership
not finding
required. If you
treatment. This
gamble,
is not
play
good.
smart.
I've got to buy new equipment for my business.
I want to increase my online sales. I wish I could expand my team.
I want to see my business move forward.
Things can move fast when you're in business. And at BDC, we understand
There
entrepreneurs.
is no-
With our 100% online small business loan, you could quickly make your project a reality. Go to bdc.ca/online loan. Apply in minutes and get up to $100,000
Look at
within
this guy,
48
like,
hours
just
of
orange
approval.
juice and
Apply now at
Tylenol, like, what the fuck?
bdc.ca/online loan.
680 News Time, 11:56.
Now the 680 News Business Report. Here's Chris McCusker.
Well, Sarah, we've got a losing session on both sides of the border, although the loss is a little steeper in the U.S. So right now, the Dow is down by 392. That's a little off the low for the day. It was looking at a drop of more than 400. The S&P down 45. The NASDAQ off by
Get this
85.
virus, you're supposed to
So the
just
big
lock
loser
yourself
right now
in
is
your
the
house
S&P
and
500
just
down by
die.
1.4%. Shares in
Or
IBM,
don't.
though, moving
Just
higher
don't come
on
out of
word
your
that
house.
company is switching out its CEO. Ginny Rometty, who was IBM's first female CEO, is leaving the post after 8 years. Now, she will continue as executive chairman
Right.
and will serve through the end of the year before retiring. Arvind Krishna, who is the current head of cloud and cognitive software, will take over. Shares in IBM right now up by 3.8% to 142.01 a share. The TSX right now is down 142, 17,348. Time now for the Express Gold Refining XAU.ca gold price update. Gold is down $1, 15.88. Price for oil today has been close to a 4-month low. But right now it's up by 10 cents, 52.23 a barrel. The Canadian economy edged higher in November by 0.1%. That was better than expected. Doug Porter is chief economist at the Bank of Montreal.
I think from a very big picture, when we look beyond some of the special factors, such as the CN strike, the potash mine shutdown, the unusually cold weather in November in much of the country, I think the bigger story is that the Canadian economy is just grinding out very modest underlying growth. In the last 5 months, or the 5 months up to November, there was almost no growth in the Canadian economy after a pretty good first half.
So the Canadian dollar right now is down by 75.63 cents US. Just going to check the chart for the Bank of Canada. Now, our next meeting is not until March. And as it stands right now, Bloomberg pricing in a 22% chance of a cut. In April, a 50% chance of a cut. And the yield on the 10-year bond in Canada right now is down by 5 basis points, 1.27%. In the U.S., off by 4.5 basis points to 1.53%. So again, the Dow off by 381, the TSX down 137. I'm Chris McCusker. This is 680 News.
Buying a new home? Then Caitlin Homes has a variety of innovative incentive offers for you. Choose from a selection of Caitlin inventory homes and offers that best suit your unique needs. Like 0% interest, exclusive Caitlin Homes
today
rebates
there
up
is
to
no
$40,000.
antiviral drug or
one of the
vaccine to
rent-to-own
treat this
programs.
infection.
Yes, you can own a new home in Bowmanville. But these incentives won't last long. Limited inventory available. For more details, visit CaitlinCorp.com.
If you have been exposed to the virus, put on a mask if one is available and call your doctor. I don't have a mask and I don't have a doctor.
Hi, can a new furnace really help me save on energy costs?
Well, older furnaces use up to 60% of a home's energy. Upgrading to a high-efficiency furnace could help. If you have an older furnace, it's a great time to replace it. Right now, you can get 25% off our featured furnaces and receive a free Google Nest Learning Thermostat and Nest Hub. But hurry, this offer won't last long. When you need a great deal fast.
On when it's cold and off when it's hot.
Conditions apply. See website for details.
Now 680 News regional
I don't
weather
want to
conditions
teach
for
the
IA
thermostat. I want the
Clarington
thermostat
Investments,
to
where
work.
we believe in the value of active management to navigate today's complex markets. Visit iaclarington.com.
Niagara Falls, mostly cloudy, -1. In Brampton, some light snow and -1. Newmarket, sun and cloud, -2. Downtown Toronto right now, it's cloudy and 0. The News Watch never stops. 680 News is CFTR AM Toronto. It's 12 noon.
Number 1 for breaking news, traffic, and weather. This is 680 News.
There's no duel or anything happening.
Steve
What the
Roberts
fuck?
and Sarah Parrott.
It's Friday, the 31st of January.
Good afternoon. Here's what's making news this hour.
Sunnybrook Hospital releases the first patient to have contracted coronavirus in Canada, while the Prime Minister stays status quo, saying the risk is still low.
Peel police say what started as a minor altercation led to the murder of a 23-year-old man in a case of mistaken identity. Now 2 brothers are among several people facing multiple charges.
A woman in her 40s is dead after being struck by a hit-and-run driver on Dixie near Lakeshore in Mississauga. The victim was operating a motorized scooter at the time.
As Britain prepares to leave the EU on this historic Brexit day, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau is confident Canada can minimize trade, travel, and investment disruptions with the UK.
The Leafs make a minor move while the Raptors try to stay hot in Detroit. Sports at 15.
The Dow drops by almost 400 points. The TSX down by more than 130. And Amazon is back in the $1 trillion club as another member falls out. Business at 26.
City News Time, 12:01.
And now time for traffic and weather together on the ones and with Toronto's most frequent traffic reports. Happy Friday, Carrie Prunskis.
Oh, you know it. This traffic report is brought to you by Mark Feldstein and Associates. Now, be careful if you're on the westbound 401 west of Salem. Just had a call from a traffic spotter reporting a large piece of debris in one of the center lanes. Not sure which one from the left. It was a message, unfortunately, but westbound 401, be careful west of Salem. Watch out for that large debris in the center lane. I'll notify MTO right after this report. Now, westbound 401, past that point, it's not too bad. Just a little bit busy as you approach Leslie and the Express. If you're heading into the Mississauga area, a minor delay through here, Ontario and the Collectors. Eastbound on the 401, that's still going, approaching Mississauga Road over to about Mavis. And then a delay through Dixie and the Collectors. It's also heavy eastbound 401 on the ramp to the southbound 427. And that's all due to construction in the right lane. Also, some construction reported southbound on the 427 around Burnhamthorpe and the Express. A left lane closed off, so it's still going as you approach Rathburn and the Express to just south of Burnhamthorpe. If you're traveling the Gardiner right now, it's not too bad as you head into and out of the city. The QEW pretty lightly traveled in both directions as well. Off the highways, Dixie remains closed in both directions just north of the Lakeshore. That's all for a collision investigation. If you're heading northbound on the Don Valley Parkway, only a minor delay as you head through Lawrence. For all your personal and corporate tax accounting needs, call Mark Feldstein and Associates, Chartered Professional Accountants. Call from your mobile now at Pound Tax or online at markfeldstein.ca. And now with the forecast, here's Jill Taylor.
Not as cold for us today as it was yesterday, but still a lot of cloud. A chance of a few flurries. Our guaranteed high 0. For tonight, a few clouds, a low -5. For today, the guaranteed high 0. Right now in downtown Toronto, it is cloudy and 0. 680 News Time, 12:03.
Well, the man who became Canada's first confirmed coronavirus patient has now been released from hospital. That from Sunnybrook, where the man was being treated for the virus.
680's Stuart McGinn joins us live with more on this and some comments today from the Prime Minister. Stuart.
Sarah, the hospital says the man was released because his condition has improved to the point where he no longer requires inpatient care. He'll now be monitored from the comfort of his home by Toronto public health officials. The man in his 50s was the first of what is now 3 confirmed cases of coronavirus in Canada, one of those in BC, and we're set to get an update from health officials there about half an hour from now. In Montreal today, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau saying measures in place across Canada to contain the virus are working.
The threat to Canadians remains low here in Canada. We are, of course, engaging with the World Health Organization.
Trudeau added the process continues to airlift the roughly 200 Canadians that are still in China, including 25-year-old Miriam, who's in Wuhan and has been told to be ready to leave at a moment's notice.
I'm like following everything that they said I have to do, like always wearing a mask whenever I go out. I take my temperature.
Lockdowns across China have been in place for a week now, affecting more than 60 million people. Reporting live, Stuart McGinn, 680 News.
680 News Time, 12:04. Some breaking news from Peel Police, who say they have arrested more than a dozen people in connection to 3 separate shootings, including the murder of an innocent man who was simply at the wrong place at the wrong time. Our Momin Qureshi is at Peel Police headquarters this morning and joins us live now with more. Momin?
Certainly a lot of details coming to light here, Steve, at Peel Police Headquarters. Police saying they've arrested 15 people on several charges connected to multiple shootings. Now, it's a very interesting way that things played out. They say it was actually a very minor event between people they say who are known to be involved with guns and gangs. There was a bit of a minor event that escalated, unfortunately, to 23-year-old Jason Rankashun being shot and killed one day when he was making his way home on the Highway 410 from his job as a security guard. There was another shooting that happened a few days after that, in which case people are also charged. Now, among the people facing charges is 2 brothers. One is facing both murder and attempted murder charges. The other one is facing attempted murder charges. Now, Peel Police Inspector Marty Otway says that he met with the Rankashun family this week and let them know that they believe they have caught the people responsible for their son's murder.
They were happy to know that the people responsible were arrested, but as you've alluded to, some people talk closure, but this doesn't really bring closure to them. It's not going to bring Jason back.
So they clearly are dealing still with the devastation and loss of their son. There are also several guns laid out here that were seized, including a big long gun. Police say that all of these guns were brought in illegally from the States. Reporting live at Peel Police Headquarters, I'm Momin Qureshi.
680 News Time, 12:06. The search continues for a driver who Peel Police say left the scene of a deadly hit and run in Mississauga. The victim, a woman in a motorized scooter, was struck early this morning on Dixie near Lakeshore. Here's 680's Kevin Meisner.
Fragments of broken metal and plastic are scattered right across the southbound lane of Dixie Road here north of Lakeshore, covering about 10 to 15 meters down to a heavily damaged scooter. Peel Constable Heather Cannon says the 45-year-old woman using that scooter this morning was killed in this crash.
The victim had been operating a motorized scooter northbound on Dixie Road in the bike lane, and it was in the southbound lane. So she was heading northbound in the southbound lanes.
The driver of the car involved sped away from the scene. Police are hoping other drivers will have information on that vehicle.
We are looking for anybody that was in the area anytime around 6:30 onwards.
Peel Police are looking for a dark-colored Honda sedan that will have obvious damage to its right front corner. On Dixie near Lakeshore Road in Mississauga, I'm Kevin Meisner.
Happening right now, TD customers having a lot of trouble doing any online or mobile banking this afternoon. For the latest, though, we go to our business editor, Chris McCusker, at Business Desk. Chris, what are you finding out?
Well, I have been seeing tweets about problems using TD's Easy Web and the mobile app. Now, I did reach out to TD Bank, didn't hear back, but in a tweet, TD says they are aware of the problem, they are working to resolve it, but it's not clear how long that will take. Again, TD recognizing there are problems with the Easy Web and the mobile app. They are working to resolve it.
It's the last day of the month. Everybody wants to get all their
680 News. 680 News Time, 12:08. What's more Canadian than bundling up and drinking beer outside in February? Our Jeff Verhoeven is here with more on today's Beer Fest.
Roundhouse Park outside Steam Whistle across from Rogers Centre. Winter Craft Beer Festival with a ton of different types of beer to sample, according to Tim McLaughlin, Director of Marketing with Steam Whistle.
Yeah, we're going to have about 40 breweries, 48 beverage vendors total. Likely going to have some beers that most of Toronto and the surrounding region might not have tried. We've got Red Circle Brewery from Kitchener, who's new, Maris from Hamilton, a brewery called Newark from Niagara-on-the-Lake, and all the way from Orleans, Ontario, out by Ottawa, we're going to have Orleans Brewing.
Not only beer, tons of food, games. People are encouraged to dress up in retro ski gear. Think Hot Tub Time Machine. It goes tomorrow from 11 a.m. until 5. I'm Jeff Rahoman.
And just keep in mind, a heads up for subway riders out there, we do have another closure on line number 1 this weekend. The young portion of the line will be shut down from Finch to Eglinton both tomorrow and on Sunday. It's for ongoing work installing a new automatic signaling system. Coming up in 30 seconds, we'll have a check on city streets, and there is some movement for gas tonight.
680 News Time, 12:09. Hello, Loblaws shoppers, specifically Paul, who's planning a party for the big game. I'm your snack coach, Paul. Here to make sure your party food is on point.
Okay.
Rush to the hot counter, tackle a bucket of 36 chicken wings and potato wedges, a 2-liter Pepsi beverage, and select varieties of Ruffles, Doritos, or Tostitos snacks, and earn 3,500 PC Optimum points.
Touchdown. Oh, wait, spicy or mild?
Just get the wings, Paul. Conditions apply. Offer valid until February 5th, 2020, only at participating Loblaws locations. Food lovers unite.
Taking a look right now at your city streets, Dixie is closed both directions north of Lakeshore, and that is for a collision investigation. And the intersection of the Don Roadway and Commissioners still shut down for some long-term construction.
City Streets was brought to you by Don Valley North Toyota, the dealership that powers 680 News reporters. Check out their 50-vehicle showroom. Not a bad place to get lost. Don Valley North Toyota, Steeles, just east of the 404.
And now time for the 680 News gas price update and process. Price of gas will actually drop a penny at midnight tonight, down to $1.09.9.
680 News Time, 12:10. When you have 20/20 vision, you don't need glasses, just sunglasses. Because during Sunwing's Deals of the Decade, you can save up to $2,020 per couple on all-inclusive sun vacations. Vacation better at top-rated resorts with award-winning service every step of the way. But hurry, winter may be around for a while, but these deals will not. Book by January 31st with your travel agent or
Julie? Hi, I'm Max.
Are you the pizza guy?
Me? No, I'm a professional dream coach. Say, how would your Friday night change if you won Friday's Lotto Max jackpot of an estimated $27 million?
I plan a little getaway.
Little?
Okay, a huge getaway. I'll travel the world, learning dances like the samba, the can-can, even break dancing.
Yes, the world is your dance floor. Friday's Lotto Max jackpot is an estimated $27 million. With draws Tuesdays and Fridays, you can dream to the max.
680 News Time, 12:11.
Time now for traffic and weather together on the ones. Carrie Prunskis.
This report is brought to you by 407 ETR. Eastbound on the 401, expect delays approaching Mississauga Road over to Mavis. It slows again as you head through Dixie and the Collectors. Then it's busy on the ramp to the southbound 427. That's due to some construction in the right lane. Looks like whatever is happening on the southbound 427 south of Burnhamthorpe and the Express is cleared away. Delays are improving. It looks a little bit busy as you head through Rathburn and the Express, but not too bad beyond that point. If you're heading southbound on the 404 Don Valley Parkway, that's slow approaching Shepherd and the Collectors onto the 401 ramps, but a great drive coming down the southbound DVP from the 401 all the way down to the Gardner, and only a minor delay westbound on the Gardner from the DVP to Cherry. Northbound Don Valley Parkway, that's getting busy approaching Eglinton to north of Lawrence. Westbound on the 401, we had debris reported west of Salem in the center lane of notified MTO, so just be careful through that stretch. No delay there, and across the city, it looks pretty good on the westbound 401. Getting busy into Mississauga, approaching here Ontario and the Collectors to west of Mavis. And keep in mind, off the highways, Dixie is still closed in both directions north of Lakeshore, all for a collision investigation. 407 ETR saves drivers 30 million hours of time each year, giving you more time for the things that matter most to you. Visit 407etr.com. And now with the forecast, here's Jill Taylor.
Another cloudy day for us. Do have a chance of a few flurries. It's milder today, though. The guaranteed high 0, -5 for the low. A few clouds tonight. And for tomorrow, chance of flurries, mainly for the evening. That could extend into Sunday, Groundhog Day, with some scattered flurries. But it will get milder, +1 tomorrow, up to 4 on Sunday. For today, the guaranteed high 0. Right now in downtown Toronto, it is 0. We have a cloudy sky. At Pearson Airport, some light snow and -1. 680 News Time, 12:13.
And now the Scotia iTrade Market Minute. Let's check in at the Business Center. How are things looking, Chris?
Well, we've got a losing day on Bay and Wall Street to kind of cap off a losing week, and pretty steep losses still in the U.S. The Dow is down 396, the S&P off by 36, and the Nasdaq lower by 94. So all markets stateside down by at least 1%. The TSX is off by 0.8% or 140 points, 17,350. Gold was slightly higher. Now it's slightly lower, down by $2, 15.86. Oil is up by a penny, 52.15 a barrel. Earlier today, it was close to a 4-month low. And the Canadian dollar down by 0.1 cent, 75.59 cents US. At the Business Center, I'm Chris McCusker.
Direct invest with Scotia iTrade. Get up to $1,500 cash and $6.99 pricing, or up to 500 free equity trades. Details at scotiaitrade.com/winter20.
I wasn't expecting to be diagnosed with cancer.
To take my child to emergency.
To have to put dad in long-term care. I also wasn't expecting my doctor to be so compassionate while I cried.
To give a lollipop to my son as we discussed the surgery.
To help me communicate what's happening to my dad. You can expect Ontario's doctors to be there when you need them. We're committed to putting you at the center of our care because we are Ontario's doctors and we're leading you to better health. Brought to you by the Ontario Medical Association.
Hey, why isn't your girlfriend drinking it? I offered her one and she said no. She's not feeling well.
She's fine. She's just pacing herself.
Ah, she can't keep up with you.
Man, look at the size of her. I've got a good 60 pounds on her. Of course she can't.
Studies show that when a man and woman drink the same amount of alcohol under the same conditions, a woman's blood alcohol level will be higher due to biological differences. Speak your mind. ChangeTheConversation.ca. Sponsored by Beer Canada.
This is All News Radio. 680 News.
It's overcast and 0 downtown, although factor in the wind, it feels more like -2. Good afternoon from the 680 News Broadcast Center in downtown Toronto. I'm Steve Roberts.
And I'm Sarah Parrott. Here are the top stories this hour.
Sunnybrook Hospital says it has released the man who became Canada's first coronavirus patient. The man in his 50s is home now and will be monitored as well by Toronto Public Health. Meantime, the Prime Minister says that measures in place across the country to contain the virus are in fact working, saying the threat remains low.
Peel police have arrested 15 people in connection to 3 separate shootings in the region in November 2018, including a mistaken identity murder of a 23-year-old man on Highway 410. Peel police say the innocent man, Jason Ramkushin, was on his way home from work when he was gunned down. The young man had aspirations of becoming a police officer.
Peel police also continuing to investigate after a 45-year-old woman in a motorized scooter was struck and killed in a hit-and-run collision in Mississauga this morning. This one happened near Dixie and Lakeshore. Investigators say the woman was in a bike lane when she was hit. The suspect vehicle, so far described as a dark Honda sedan, will likely have damage to the front corner.
For these stories and more, head to 680news.com.
Now time for 680 Sports, and from Sportsnet 590 The Fan, here's George Russick. George?
The Maple Leafs potentially have some more bad news when it comes to the injury front. Travis Dermott is absent from Maple Leafs practice. He played 21-47 in Dallas on Wednesday night. The Maple Leafs have recalled defenseman Kevin Gravel from the Toronto Marlies. Leafs, of course, don't play tonight. They will host the Ottawa Senators tomorrow. The red-hot Toronto Raptors gunning for 10 straight wins tonight in Detroit against the Pistons. 7 o'clock tip-off on Sportsnet 590. The Fan, watch it on Sportsnet 1. The men's final is all set at the Australian Open. Dominic Thiem got past Alexander Zverev in 4 sets. He'll meet Novak Djokovic in Sunday morning's final, while the women's singles final goes tomorrow morning at 3:30 a.m. between Sofia Kenin and Garbiñe Muguruza. Mississauga Steelheads hosting North Bay tonight at 7. Toronto Rock hosting Halifax at 7:30. Sports at 15 and 45 past every hour or anytime at sportsnet.ca/590.
Happy Chinese New Year! Mandarin is back with our Dumpling Festival for a limited time to celebrate Chinese New Year in style. Enjoy favorite dumplings like beef pot stickers, siu mai, har gao, and tasty banana dumplings for dessert. Plus, choose from other Chinese New Year features added to our award-winning buffet of over 100 dishes. Don't miss it. Chinese New Year at Mandarin ends February 23rd while supplies last.
A celebration of taste, Mandarin.
Why did I wait so long?
Our patients tell us that all the time at the Herzig Eye Institute. I'm Sherry Tabb, co-founder of the Herzig Eye Institute. And Dr. Herzig and I want to ask you, why have you waited so long? You could finally be free from glasses, contacts, even reading glasses. Google high definition vision. Learn about Herzig. Call us for a consultation. There's no charge. Afterwards, you'll say, why did I wait so long? Look after yourself. Promise me.
680 News Time, 12:18. Renewed contract talks between the Elementary Teachers Federation of Ontario and the province are now into day number 3, and it comes as rotating strikes continue.
ETFO members are on the picket lines in Peel Region and Hamilton today as their union sits down with provincial negotiators for a third day of talks with faint hope of reaching a deal that would prevent further escalation. Next week, public elementary teachers are threatening walkouts at each board twice a week, including province-wide on Thursday. There is another somewhat encouraging sign in the education standoff. The mediator calling back the main Catholic teachers union to the table Monday. Catholic teachers are set to hold a province-wide walkout Tuesday. Public high school teachers still have no scheduled talks a day after announcing a 6th walkout for next Tuesday that will impact York and Halton region. I'm Alex Bloomfield.
680 News Time, 12:19. It is Brexit Day in the UK, but as we hear from our Parliament Hill reporter Cormac McSweeney, our Prime Minister is sure the impact on Canada will be minimal.
Breaking up is hard to do, and even though Brexit is almost official, there will still be a lot of work ahead, even for Canada. Our country already has a trade deal with the EU, and with Britain's exit, it means we'll now have to reach a separate agreement with the United Kingdom. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau says his government has been working with the British to ensure a smooth transition.
We are very confident that we will minimize any disruptions to investment, to trade, to people-to-people ties with the United Kingdom.
Trudeau says the biggest threat would have been a no-deal Brexit, but the UK and EU have given themselves 11 months to come to a new pact on trade, transportation, education, and a wide range of other issues. It also gives Canada some breathing room, and while we're engaged in preliminary talks with Britain, there's no set date for any formal negotiations. Cormac McSweeney, Parliament Hill.
60 seconds from now, we'll have a look at traffic and your extended forecast. 680 News Time, 12:20.
Let's be honest, you're probably overpaying for your company's health and dental plan. Hi, I'm Louis Carnavelli, president of Northern Financial Group. And after decades of seeing the same cookie-cutter approach to companies' health and dental plans, we've created something truly unique. We pool thousands of members for greater purchasing power. That allows us to offer health and dental plans starting at $55 a month per employee. So if you run a business with 300 to 300 employees, visit northernfinancialgroup.ca, where $55 goes a long way. Your employees will thank you.
Tim Hortons Dream Donuts are here. Try the Dolce de Leche, chocolate truffle, or strawberry confetti today at Tim's. They'll have you say, "You make my dreams come true."
680 News Time, 12:21. Time now for traffic and weather together on the ones. Here's Kerry Prunskis.
This report is brought to you by Shoppers Drug Mart. Eastbound on the 401, it's a slow drive from Winston Churchill over to Mavis. Another delay as you head through Dixie and the Collectors, and then it bunches up onto the ramp to the southbound 427. That's because of construction in the right lane. The southbound 427, though, now in great shape from the 401 all the way down to the Gardner. If you're continuing along the eastbound 401, delays are gradually building from the 427 to the 400 Express and Collectors, but beyond the 400, it looks great. Westbound on the 401, thanks to traffic spotters for the updates. That debris west of Salem has been removed by MTO crews, and no delay in that area. The westbound 401 looks pretty good across the city. Just a little bit of a delay as you approach Yonge over to Avenue Road in the Collectors, and then it slows again through Huron, Ontario in the Collectors, but aside from that, we're doing well. Westbound on the Gardner, only a minor delay from the DVP to Cherry. If you're heading northbound on the Don Valley Parkway, that continues to fill in, approaching Eglinton to north of Lawrence, but traffic is moving very well on the QEW in both directions. Off the highways, Dixie remains closed in both directions north of Lakeshore. That's all for a collision investigation. Got PC Optimum points? Now's the time to redeem them. It's the bonus redemption event at Shoppers Drug Mart. Get more for your points now until February 2nd. And now with the forecast, here's Jill Taylor.
Just a lot of cloud for the most part today, although we could get a few flurries, a guaranteed high 0. It's not as cold as yesterday. For tonight, a few clouds, -5, and tomorrow, the 1st of February, mainly cloudy, +1. Do have a chance of flurries, mainly for the evening. Sunday, Groundhog Day, cloudy with scattered flurries, mainly for the morning, continuing mild up to 4 degrees. And for Monday, all the way up to 7, well above average. The average high is -2. It will be partly cloudy and then cooler again for next week. For today, the guaranteed high 0.
Right now downtown, it is 0 under overcast conditions, and over at Pearson, overcast and -1. And coming up at the bottom of the hour, Sunnybrook Hospital releasing the man who became Canada's first coronavirus patient. Details on that ahead. And Peel police have now arrested 15 people in connection to 3 separate shootings in that region in November of 2018, including a mistaken identity murder. Details ahead.
1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate online at carsforkids.ca. That's cars with a K. Pickup is quick and easy. You'll benefit a child and get a maximum tax credit.